Hey guys, Wagon here, and welcome back to another WWW, also known as Who Would Win. And in this episode, this is probably going to be the hardest episode I've ever done yet. It is going to be the two arguably strongest beings of the universes. We have Rune King Thor, which is the strongest Asgardian and possibly the strongest non-omnipotent being in the Marvel Universe, and we're going to be putting him up against Superman Prime 1 million. And so now that you know that, let's just jump straight into this. This is going to be a fair fight, no preparation. They aren't allowed to call in any assistance from anyone. No extra armor and stuff as well. That's the other one that I was forgetting. So no extra armor at all, so they can't go and get some extra armor to help them really win. They get just standard equipment. And with that said, let's get right into this. Okay, so now we're going to be starting off with Superman Prime 1 million. We all know Superman's origins, let's not even go to that, and let's just go into straight in how he became Superman Prime 1 million. Superman's travels lasted from the 21st century and ended somewhere at the turn of the 700th century. During his travels, he acquired vast abilities and skills from across the universe. When he returned, he forged a covenant with his descendants. He would bestow upon them a small fraction of his power as long as they served for truth and justice. After the Covenant, he left and returned into his Fortress of Solitude in the center of the Super Sun. When Solaris fired what he thought was the night fragment at the sun in order to kill Superman Prime, the Green Lantern retrieved a DNA sample from the Solaris' core, which had been placed there when he was constructed, starting a supernova reaction in Solaris' core. The Green Lantern then attempted to contain the explosion with his power ring. He was joined by Cal Kent, who used his Force Vision to contain the explosion. Superman Prime suddenly reappeared from the sun after 15,000 years of absorbing solar energy, and crushed the tyrant sun once and for all with the Green Lantern ring that Solaris had inadvertently given to him. The time he spent in the sun magnified his already great power to presumably infinite levels. His strength and other countless abilities he gained also rose to unknown levels from the time he spent in the sun. In the aftermath of Solaris' destruction, a lot was revealed about Superman Prime's hibernation in the Super Sun. During this period, he had been waiting for Solaris to attempt on his life because he had foreknowledge of the events thanks to his time-traveling younger self. He knew about the DNA sample in Solaris' core, and with the help of Lazem Liptovic's, sorry for that pronunciation, the Superman of the Fifth Dimension, and Our Man, used it to his advantage and in the process resurrected his beloved Lois Lane. After what seemed like an eternity, he had retreated into the sun to await her return, and now a silver Lois Lane and a golden Superman Prime were reunited. In all the time since her death, life had little meaning or warmth for him, but now Superman Prime felt he was completely once more. His powers and abilities consist of Kryptonian physiology. Under the effects of a yellow sun, Superman Prime possesses the same potential powers as an average Kryptonian. These include solar energy absorption. Under optimal conditions, this is the main source of Superman Prime's superpowers, as they are contingent upon exposure to solar radiation from a yellow sun star system. His biological makeup includes a number of organs which lack analogues in humans whose functions are unknown. It is believed that between one or more of these and his biocellular matrix, yellow solar energy, is stored for later use. This allows for the use of these powers to fade when solar radiation is not available, instead of immediate failure. Heat vision. Superman Prime can, as a conscious act, fire beams of intense heat at a target by looking at it. He can vary the heat and area affected. Super hearing. Superman Prime hearing is sensitive enough to hear any sound at any volume or pitch. With skill and concentration, he can block out ambient sounds to focus on a specific source or frequency. Enhanced vision. Superman Prime's vision processes the entire electromagnetic spectrum, as well as allowing vast control over selective perception and focus. This umbrella ability includes the following. Electromagnetic spectrum vision. Superman Prime can see well into most of the electromagnetic spectrum. He can see and identify radio and television signals as well as other broadcast or transmitted frequencies. Using this ability, he can avoid detection by radar or satellite monitoring methods. This also allows him to see the aura generated by a living thing. Telescopic vision. This is the ability to see something at a great distance without violating the laws of physics. Although limited, the exact extent of the ability is undetermined. In function, it is similar to the zoom lens on a camera. X-ray vision. This is the ability to see through any volume of matter except lead. Superman Prime's can see things beyond a solid, opaque object, as if it were not there. He can focus the ability to peel back layers of an object, allowing hidden image or inner workings to be observed. The exact type of energy perceived, such as X-rays, cosmic rays, or some other energy invisible to normal humans, is unclear. The ability perceives an ambient energy source, though. It does not involve the eye projecting a concentrated, possibly toxic beam to be reflected back from objects. Microscopic vision. This is the ability to see extremely small objects and images down to the atomic level. Infrared vision. Superman Primus can see with better acuity in darkness and to a degree in total darkness. Flight. Superman Prime is able to manipulate gravitation particles to defy the forces of gravity and achieve flight. This ranges from hovering to moving in any posture or in any direction. Invulnerability. Due to the interaction of his dense molecular structure and supercharged bioelectricity aura, Superman Prime is nigh invulnerable to extreme energy forces. In addition, he extends this projection against toxins and diseases. Superhuman stamina. Superman Prime is able to maintain continuous, strenuous physical action for an indefinite period of time. This based on his body converting yellow solar radiation directly to energy, but is limited by physiological and psychological needs to eat, drink, and sleep. Superhuman strength. Superman Prime's strength is augmented by yellow solar radiation, interacting with the greater than human density, resilience, and biological efficiency of his multi-muscularity. His strength is more of an act of conscious will and energy fields than actual physical strength. It is the act of conscious that enables him to perform physical feats that are beyond the mere application of force, such as moving a mountain without said rock crumpling under its own mass. Superhuman speed. Superman Prime is able to move at incredible speed by sheer force of will. This extends to his perceptions and allows for feats such as catching bullets in mid-flight, as well as covering vast distances in little or no time. This also confers superhuman agility, superhuman reflexes, super breath. Superman Prime is able to create hurricane-force winds by exhaling air from his lungs. He can chill the air as it leaves his lungs to freeze targets. He can also reverse the pull large volumes of air or vapor into his lungs. Solar supercharge. Superman Prime remained in Earth's sun for 15,000 years, increasing his abilities to unknown but presumably immeasurable levels. He is known to dwarf the might of the massively powerful Clark Kent, who is himself more powerful than the gravitational pull of a collapsing star, and is multiple times faster than the speed of light. Power bequeathment. Superman Prime is noted as being capable of sharing a portion of his power with his descendants. This fraction alone itself being a degree of power far beyond any held by any metahumans ever, betraying them inextricability to the supersun that Prime inhabitants is the source of their powers. Immortality. Superman Prime has not visibly aged since the late 20th, early 21st century. Indomitable will. Like the present-day Superman, Superman Prime possesses vast willpower enough to create and to operate a green power ring. And that's all of these powers and abilities. That's a lot. Now moving on to Rune King Thor. Rune King Thor's backstory is not really that well known, but there is an Asgardian tale which I'll read out to you now as the explanation to his powers. The most powerful of all of the incarnations of Thor. To gain the use of the Odin Force, Thor had to repeat his father's actions by plucking out both his eyes to drink from the well Mimir, unlike Odin plucking out only one. Like Odin, Thor had to sacrifice himself by hanging himself. But unlike Odin, who hung while he was at the brink of death, Thor had living until he was in Deitch's Maw. By going further than his father, Thor had obtained powers more powerful than Odin's own, and stopped the Ragnarok cycle. If you don't know what the Ragnarok cycle is, it's basically the destruction of the Norse gods. After the Thor stopped the Ragnarok cycle, he fell into a deep Odin sleep, to one day return to scat with his friends. Sorry about the pronunciation of some of those things and how some of those not make sense, because it's a Norse tale and the writing's really bad and hard to read, and it's Norse, so it doesn't really make sense. But anyway, and most old-timey writing is just a bit hard to read, especially Viking era and everything like that. So yeah, anyway. Rune King Thor's powers are way above Odin's, and his powers and abilities consist of Rune Magic Empowerment, Reality Warping, high tier, Dimension Manipulation, Energy Manipulation, Molecule Manipulation, Space-Time Manipulation, mind control, telepathy, immortality, high tier, superhuman invulnerability, godlike strength, near infinite stamina, omnipresence, which is only limited omnipresence, but anyway, transdimensional teleportation, duplicate manipulation, flight, infinite speed, near omniscience, cosmic awareness, precognition, retrocognition, cosmic awareness, superhuman sensory system, superhuman sight, telescopic sight, microscopic sight, and superhuman hearing. So his powers and abilities are very similar to Superman Prime 1 million, but just a little bit more with the because of the Odin Force. And now onto the bit you've probably all been waiting for, the final verdict. Who would win between Rune King Thor and Superman Prime 1 million? And I'd have to say this is, I know I say this quite a bit, this is without a doubt 100% the hardest battle that I've ever had to do, because they're both extremely strong beings, but one is slightly stronger than the other, and that being is Thor. Okay, so I know what you may be thinking, how the hell can he beat Superman Prime 1 million? And here's that. I didn't say this in the video because it would have just went for too long and I wanted to wait for that, to, build suspense and everything, but Superman Prime 1 million's one weakness is his super hearing. He can block out most things and only focus on one thing, but if he gets overloaded with extremely loud noises, then he will be easily apprehended and easily be able to take him down. And because Rune King Thor still possesses the powers that Thor had beforehand, he still is able to make lots of thunder noises, and if he does that to a higher extent, which he will be able to in this form, he will easily be able to apprehend Superman Prime 1 million. And if that doesn't work, he'll soon understand about the solar rays and solar energy because of the old Odin Force, and he'll easily be able to take him out of the solar system via interdimensional teleportation, taking him to a different entire place. This fight will then go on for maybe days, weeks on end, it depends on whatever, and then he'll eventually grow weak, and so Odin Force, with Thor with the powers of the Odin Force, will then be able to easily apprehend and destroy Superman Prime 1 million. It will be an extremely close fight, and Thor will take lots of beatings, but he will eventually be able to apprehend and take down Superman Prime 1 million because of his intense weakness. And Superman Prime 1 million is only near omnipotent in his strength, and he is omnipotent in his strength, near omnipotent in everything else. Whereas Thor is in this form is practically omnipotent in everything he does, not just his powers. Just he has omnipotence in magic, manipulation. He's extremely high tier in immortality and vulnerability and everything. So it's extremely impressive. Whereas Superman Prime 1 million is he's extremely impressive high tier in some things, just not the areas that it will really count and really matter for this battle. So in the end, Thor will come out victorious. No matter how long it takes, he will come out victorious. Days, weeks, hours, minutes, he will come out victorious. And so that's it for this video. I hope you guys did like this video. Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.